So I initially did not intend to make a video tonight talking about anything. Just this morning, I even posted a video that was really long that covered a couple of different gaming topics. So I really wasn't in the space where I felt I needed to get another video out, and I didn't really think there was even going to be anything interesting to talk about. But boy, was I wrong, because while I was driving home from work just in the last hour, I happened to check Twitter, and I happened to notice that Nintendo recently randomly announced a new Nintendo 2DS XL. Yes, you heard that right, and you probably already know this. A 2DS, a brand new 2DS was announced by Nintendo today, April 27th, 2017. And not just any old 2DS, this is a new 2DS. This ain't Joe Daddy's 2DS, this is a whole brand new thing. And it's a 2DS XL, and it's just crazy. It's so weird that this is happening for so many reasons. I mean, we all obviously know the reasons why this is weird. The biggest thing is that the Switch is out. The dang Switch already exists. Nintendo's new home console that's also a portable. Some even argue it's a portable first. And I think that's even kind of true. And a lot of us have been thinking, okay, at some point this is probably going to be Nintendo's only bread and butter out on the market. At some point it's going to have to replace the 3DS. It's going to have to become what is going to be their, temporarily permanent and only handheld machine on the market. So why would Nintendo all of a sudden announce another portable machine, and really one that's still part of that DS, 3DS family? So this is the main reason I wanted to talk to you guys about this today and make a video as soon as I got home while I still had some time, because this is a bigger deal than maybe it might initially seem. To me, the reason this is kind of an important thing for me to touch base with you guys about is because I think that the announcement of this machine, this handheld, at this time, almost 2 months after the Nintendo Switch launches, I feel kind of gives us a little bit of insight into Nintendo's thinking and into their business model and into their plan for the semi-immediate to semi-long-term future. I've talked about the 3DS on a couple videos over the course of the last week or so. We all know that the last Nintendo Direct they had about 2 weeks ago focused really heavily on the 3DS, whereas really none of us saw that coming or would have expected them to do so. The Switch really changed the game as far as what a lot of us might be thinking Nintendo's planning on the portable and handheld market. And with the 3DS specifically and the DS family going forward, it's like we all kind of assumed that was going to go away. The new 2DS XL definitely changes that. Now, you're watching, some video in the corner here of the 2DS trailer playing, so you can see what it looks like. I have to say, before I get too much deeper into the actual what this might mean, I have to say, it looks cool. It looks totally fine. I mean, it's not like the device itself looks like a bad device. It's obviously not going to be poor quality. Nintendo does not build poor quality hardware, and especially on the handheld front and in the DS family front, they've only ever made really quality stuff. And I like the fact that they're taking the 2DS concept and putting it in that clamshell design. It looks really sleek. We got the C-Stick added. We know it has whatever power is in the new 3DS line to allow games like Xenoblade to be possible, and then of course it makes games more playable, like Smash Brothers and Hyrule Warriors. They're actually worthwhile to play because of the extra power under the hood. So I mean, the device is neat. I mean, I kind of wish it was just announced and sold a year ago. I don't know why they're revealing it right now, which is what I have to get into in a minute, but it just should be noted that I think it actually looks like a fine device, and anyone in the world who might actually pick one up for $149.99, $150, as weird as it would be to buy it in 2017, I still think it's a pretty quality looking product. But coming back to the main idea here of why this is being revealed and announced now and what it could mean for Nintendo going forward, to me, it's telling us that they might actually be planning on supporting the portable DS, handheld line for longer than maybe we initially expected. Now, when I made my video recapping the Nintendo Direct about a week ago, and I talked about how, okay, it's obvious why Nintendo is still focusing on the 3DS, because the Switch needs time to build up momentum in sales. Nintendo probably wants to see this thing hit 15 or 20 million units within the next year to 2 years, which I think is very likely possible. But in that time, Nintendo still needs to have a way to reach a large market of people, and that's what the 3DS currently is. It's 50, 55, 60 million units out there. So many people, so many Nintendo gamers, and even with the Switch existing and being so great, Nintendo has to be able to still reach those people and get large quantities of software out to the consumer, because they're going to make so much money that way. So I stand by my initial statement, whereas I thought I think the 3DS line still has a year in it. Yes, the Switch, I think, will eventually be replacing it, and the 3DS line I thought was going to go away pretty soon, but I still expected about 1 full year of focus on the 3DS still. The announcement of the 2DS, the new 2DS XL, I should say, does change that thinking a little bit. I have to be completely honest with you guys and say this caught me off guard, just like I'm sure it caught you guys off guard. It's launching July 28th, by the way, so just a couple of months from now, the same day as Hey Pikmin on the 3DS, by the way, so kind of interesting there. Yeah, this definitely changes my line of thinking, and this really could be telling us, you guys, we have to brace ourselves for this. Nintendo probably wants to support the portable DS market for longer than maybe I initially had thought. So is this a good idea? It's too early to tell, and that's usually the case with Nintendo. They always do things we don't expect, and half of the times we think it's great, half of the times we think it's a terrible idea, half of the time it turns out to be a terrible idea, and the other half of the time it turns out to surprise us all and work out for the better, and Nintendo makes a lot of money, and we get great games and products out of it. So it's always hard to predict. I do think this is a strange move, and, you know, for myself, playing that armchair internet video game businessman, which I'm truly not, but pretending to be, I would think it's probably not something they should do, and I would have been completely fine if this product was never announced or revealed or sold. It's like, you know what? Give us that extra year of games on the 3DS. I'm happy to continue buying them. I love the 3DS. There is a handful of 3DS games I still expect to buy throughout the next year, so that's fine. But I still mostly am focused on the Switch, and I'm fine after a year letting the Switch replace all of my Nintendo portable gaming for the time being. So I don't need this thing to exist, and I don't think anyone else is asking for this thing to exist. But Nintendo seems to think that there's a reason for this to be made, and that people are going to want to buy it. And I guess, you know, they're counting on games you can see in the trailer. They're counting on games like the upcoming Fire Emblem, and definitely that Pikmin game to sell the new 2DS XL. And, I mean, I'm excited that they have faith in Pikmin. I think Pikmin is going to be fantastic, but I do not think it's going to be a huge hit. And I don't think it's going to sell new 2DS XLs, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm happy to be wrong, but I just feel like it's not going to be this push that maybe Nintendo expects it to be. What this also tells me, you guys, is next year, literally in 2018, we might still be getting new DS game announcements from Nintendo. I mean, previously, before this announcement, I wouldn't have thought that'd be the case. I think they're going to ride this year out, have 5 or 6 or 7 high-profile 3DS games for 2017, and maybe in the first, like, quarter of 2018, but then it would be done, just finito. Now I'm starting to think that maybe a couple of Nintendo Directs might come in first quarter 2018 that still are giving us brand new 3DS and 2DS games and software, and that's a really crazy idea to think about. Maybe Nintendo just really doesn't want to let that market go while the Switch continues to build momentum. Maybe they have less faith in how fast it's going to sell than we understand. Or maybe, let's look into some of the reasons why this could actually make a little bit more sense. Maybe after 2017, there's going to be a larger drought for Switch games than we might really be prepared for. This is just me speculating, so, you know, don't go too crazy with this if you hate this idea, but I do have to throw it out there as a possibility. We know we have a couple of great games that are filling out the Switch's library for 2017, and we all want to believe that 2018 is going to be the same, if not better, and I do want to believe that, but maybe Nintendo is planning on pushing the DS family for a little bit longer because they actually won't have a whole bunch of AAA huge Switch releases in 2018. And they want these 3DS games that they might be announcing in the future, that I'm making up in my head right now, to be the games that fill out 2018, and by 2019, that's when the Switch is finally just going to be like bang, bang, boom, boom, bang, with all these great titles that we're anticipating coming. So, I mean, it's going to be really interesting. The only other reason I could think that Nintendo would be doing this, if it's not the game thing, and if it's not selling to the masses because the Switch is going to sell slower than they want it to, it might just be that Nintendo has a bunch of extra DS parts laying around a warehouse somewhere, and they need to just get them out. And they'd rather just sell them than chalk them up as a loss and write them off and just scrap them. Maybe they have all these, you know, 2DS screens and all these 3DS architecture parts and innards and components just in, you know, barrels and barrels in a Nintendo warehouse in Japan somewhere. And it's like, well, what do? Do we want to just throw them in the trash compactor, or, hell, let's make a new 2DS and just sell them that way and try to make a little bit of our money back? I mean, maybe that's what it is, or maybe it's a combination of all of these crazy, wacky things. Either way, the new 2DS XL is a thing. I never thought that we'd be saying these words. It doesn't look like garbage. Again, the machine looks great, It just is a weird-ass time to announce it, and I don't know if there's really going to be a market for it. But as I already said, Nintendo surprises us, man, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe all of you guys out there who think the same thing are wrong, and Nintendo's going to sell a whole crap load of these things, and it's going to be just the greatest thing ever. You never frickin' know with Nintendo, man. They keep us guessing all the time. So, I don't know, that's it. Those are my theories and my kind of words and the 2 cents I have to throw in about what's happening with the new 2DS XL. Why does this exist? Nintendo, why does this exist? Who even knows? But, you know, if it sells, it sells. So, that's what's up, guys. Tell me what you think about the announcement of this thing. Do you think it looks great? Do you think it doesn't? Do you think it's going to be a big hit? Do you think it's not going to be a big hit and you're very confused at its release, just like I am and the things I laid out in this video? Tell me what you guys think. As always, this, of course, is Rob of Rule of Two View, and I will catch you guys next time on another video.